Have you ever felt that the moment you stop chasing someone, they start chasing you instead? What if the secret to attracting the love and respect you desire isn't about trying harder, but about stepping back? Welcome to today's transformative journey, where we blend the ancient wisdom of Stoicism with the modern no-contact rule in relationships. In a society that glorifies the pursuit, whether it's success, happiness, or love, the idea of not chasing after what you want might seem utterly counterintuitive. Yet, Stoicism, a philosophy founded over 2 millennia ago, teaches us the profound power of emotional independence and self-control. It emphasizes focusing on our own growth and virtues, suggesting that true contentment comes from within, not from external validations or the approval of others. Today, we're diving deep into how embracing Stoic principles can revolutionize your love life. We'll explore how the no-contact rule isn't just a tactic to get someone back or to play hard to get, but a meaningful practice that fosters self-respect and inner peace. By withdrawing from the chase and centering on your own well-being, you not only enhance your personal growth, but also become inherently more attractive to others. Are you ready to unlock the paradox, where less becomes more, where your absence speaks louder than words, and your self-sufficiency becomes magnetic? We'll guide you through practical steps to implement this Stoic approach in your personal life, helping you to not only navigate relationships more effectively, but also to achieve a greater sense of self-worth and contentment. So stay tuned, because this could be the game changer you've been waiting for in your journey toward healthier, more rewarding relationships. If you find value in this exploration of ancient philosophy meeting modern-day challenges, please give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insightful content that empowers you to live your best life. Now, let's get started. Number 1. The power of guarding your time. What if I told you that one of the most magnetic qualities you can display is the way you treat your time? In a world where instant gratification is expected, the man who doesn't immediately make himself available sends a powerful message. His time is valuable. When you prioritize your own life, goals, and well-being over being constantly at someone's beck and call, you show that you're a man with purpose, a man who knows his worth. Imagine this scenario. You're deep into an important project, or perhaps you're enjoying quality time with close friends. Suddenly, a text from her lights up your phone. Instead of dropping everything and responding right away, you pause. You recognize that you have responsibilities and goals, things that are equally, if not more important, than her sudden need for your attention. You reply thoughtfully, letting her know you're busy and will get back to her when you're free. This simple move highlights your independence and self-assured nature, traits that are irresistible because they show you value your time and your life outside of her orbit. This doesn't mean you're ignoring or disrespecting her. Quite the opposite. By setting boundaries around your time, you show that you respect both yourself and her. You're teaching her that your attention is something to be earned and appreciated, not expected on demand. When you finally do respond, perhaps after finishing a task or enjoying your evening, you can say something like, "I was working on an important project earlier, but I'm free now. What's up?" This reinforces that you're not avoiding her. You're simply committed to your life, which makes you even more desirable. This approach aligns deeply with Stoic wisdom. A key Stoic principle is the control over your reactions to external events. Rather than rushing to please her or to seek validation, you remain calm, centered, and in control. This cultivates a sense of inner peace, and through that, you exude an aura of quiet strength. By not always being available, you avoid the pitfall of overvaluing someone else's time at the expense of your own. Consider how women often admire men who are goal-driven, who aren't easily distracted by fleeting desires. When you honor your own time, you present yourself as someone with a rich, fulfilling life. Women are drawn to men who possess this depth, recognizing that if they want to be part of your world, they need to align with your purpose, rather than expect you to abandon it for them. By placing value on your time, you project confidence, self-respect, and discipline, qualities that women find naturally attractive. You set a standard for how you expect to be treated, and you cultivate a dynamic where respect and admiration flow both ways. So, the next time you're tempted to interrupt your priorities for her, pause and reflect. Honor yourself first. In doing so, you not only reinforce your own value, but also create a space where healthier, more balanced relationships can thrive. Number 2, display your independence. Think about it. When someone isn't constantly vying for our attention, we tend to wonder what's going on beneath the surface. It's human nature to be drawn to mystery. When a woman perceives that you're not overly eager, it signals confidence. And confidence, my friend, is magnetic. Consider this. You're talking to a woman who seems to send mixed signals. Instead of scrambling to decode her every action or bending over backward to win her favor, you decide to take a step back. Not in a rude or dismissive way, but with a quiet assurance that you have your own priorities. You're not in a rush, nor are you dependent on her validation. You've just subtly sent a message that says, I value my time, and I value myself. Now watch how she reacts. You'll notice something interesting. She might begin to lean in, initiate more conversations, or simply seek your presence more often. Why? Because by creating that small gap, you've sparked curiosity. You've introduced a layer of complexity and depth that she didn't expect, making her wonder what lies beyond the surface. In that moment, you've become more than just another guy. You've become a puzzle she's eager to solve. This approach is grounded in Stoic philosophy, where the focus lies on controlling what you can, your actions, your emotions, while letting go of what you can't control, like her reactions. Stoicism teaches that true strength comes from within, from emotional resilience, and not from external validation. By not over-investing in her approval, you're showing her that your sense of self-worth is unshakable, independent of her interest or lack thereof. Think about it this way. When you stop caring so much about how a woman perceives you, you reclaim your power. You're not playing games. You're simply recognizing that your happiness doesn't hinge on her response. You're demonstrating that you are a man with his own life, with his own goals and passions. That kind of confidence, that quiet self-assuredness, is irresistibly attractive. Incorporating Stoic principles into your relationships is not about being cold or detached. It's about mastering your desires and not letting them control your behavior. By remaining composed, grounded, and independent, no matter what she says or does, you show her that you're emotionally strong. And that strength speaks volumes. It says, I don't need you to complete me. I'm already complete. Independence doesn't mean pushing people away. It means standing firm in who you are, knowing that your happiness is self-made. You have your own interests, your own passions, and while you're open to sharing your life with someone, you're not desperate for it. You're a whole person on your own, and that kind of emotional stability is rare, making it all the more appealing. Before we move on to the next point, if you're resonating with this, take a moment to drop a comment below, whether it's sharing your thoughts or simply typing, I'm already complete, to show that you're embracing this mindset. Your input helps build a strong community of like-minded individuals. And don't forget to hit the like button. It truly supports the channel and helps spread these Stoic insights. Now, let's dive into the next powerful shift. Let her see that you have different priorities. This is where you truly separate yourself from the crowd, showing her that while you value her, your life is driven by bigger goals and deeper purpose. Number 3, let her see that you have different priorities. Imagine being the kind of man who can captivate a woman without even trying. You don't need to chase after her attention, shower her with constant affection, or seek her approval. Instead, your strength lies in what you don't do. This is the essence of Stoicism in relationships. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is learning to focus only on what you can control and letting go of everything else. This mindset, when applied to romantic dynamics, can shift the entire balance of how you're perceived. It's not about indifference, it's about owning your space and showing that you're the center of your own world. Women are drawn to men who live with purpose, men who have interests and passions that don't solely revolve around the relationship. Think of a man who spends his weekends mastering a skill or exploring a passion, whether it's fitness, art, or adventure. When his time isn't always available, it sends a silent but powerful message. He's living a life full of meaning, and his value doesn't hinge on anyone else's validation. This, in turn, makes him far more intriguing. The woman sees him as a person of substance, someone who won't drop everything at a moment's notice, because his time is valuable. There's a common misconception that pulling away or not immediately responding to a woman's texts or calls is playing games. In reality, it's demonstrating that your life isn't put on pause just because someone is interested in you. The man who understands his worth doesn't seek external approval to validate his existence. He follows his own path, sets goals, and pursues passions that enhance his personal growth. This unwavering focus on self-development naturally attracts respect and admiration, not just from women, but from everyone around him. Imagine the impact of showing subtle but unmistakable independence. You're not ignoring her out of spite or to manipulate her emotions. Instead, you're showing her that you're a man whose life is filled with purpose, and your happiness isn't tied to her. This emotional maturity demonstrates that you're not easily swayed by outside forces, something deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy. The more you embrace this mindset, the more you radiate confidence, making you stand out in ways that others can't compete with. The real goal here is not to make her feel neglected, but to showcase that your life is just as important as hers. By maintaining this balance, you allow room for mutual respect and individuality to flourish. This leads to a deeper connection, where both people appreciate each other's uniqueness, creating a bond that is far more meaningful than one built on neediness or desperation. When you let go of the need to impress, that's when you truly become impressive. Number 4, trigger her desire to chase after you. Have you ever noticed how the things we can't easily grasp often captivate us the most? There's a natural allure to what remains slightly out of reach, and this is particularly true when it comes to human attraction. If you want to truly capture a woman's interest, you don't have to chase her relentlessly. In fact, sometimes the key to drawing her closer is to do the exact opposite. Give her space and let her come to you. This taps into one of the most profound and often overlooked aspects of human psychology, igniting her pursuit instinct. Throughout history, pursuit has played an essential role not only in survival, but also in romantic attraction. While modern times may seem far removed from our primal roots, these instincts still shape the way we navigate relationships today. There's something about the thrill of the chase that fuels desire. And when a woman feels she has to work just a little to get your attention, it taps into that deep-seated drive. Imagine this scenario. You're receiving constant messages from someone who's eager to get your attention. At first, it's flattering, but over time, that constant pursuit begins to feel more like pressure, and the once pleasant interaction becomes draining. You start losing interest. The same applies to how attraction works. When a woman feels you are constantly available, the excitement begins to fade. On the other hand, when your presence is less predictable, you suddenly become more intriguing. This is where the power of intermittent reinforcement comes into play. A psychological phenomenon where unpredictability keeps people more engaged than consistent attention. By focusing on your own life and not always seeking her out, you're giving her a reason to wonder, to question, and to chase after the answer. It's not about playing games. It's about creating a natural space where she can feel compelled to pursue you. Think of it like this. If you're always available and say yes every time she asks to meet, what message are you sending? You might think you're showing interest, but to her, it might signal that you don't have other priorities or passions in your life. Over time, she could begin taking your availability for granted. Now, imagine turning down an invitation, not to play hard to get, but because you're genuinely focused on your own goals, passions, and social life. That shift sparks her curiosity. Why aren't you always available? What's keeping you busy? Suddenly, she's more interested in you, simply because you're living your own life. From a Stoic perspective, this approach makes perfect sense. Stoicism teaches the importance of maintaining control over your emotions and not allowing external factors, like a woman's attention, to dictate your inner peace. Constantly seeking her approval or validation gives her the power to influence your emotional state. But by stepping back, by being less available, you're demonstrating that your happiness doesn't rely on her attention alone. You become the master of your own peace of mind, which is not only empowering, but also incredibly attractive. So, how can you implement this in your life? Focus on your passions, set boundaries, and prioritize your own emotional well-being. When you're busy pursuing your own goals, you automatically create an air of mystery and independence that draws her in. And when she does make the effort to connect, it feels more rewarding for both of you. You're not giving her attention out of need, but out of genuine interest. And that's a powerful dynamic to cultivate. Now that you understand the power of triggering her desire to chase after you, take a moment to reflect. If this resonates with you, I'd love for you to leave a comment below sharing your thoughts, or simply type, "I don't chase, I attract." By doing so, you're affirming your control over your own life and emotions, something truly magnetic. Now, let's move on to the next point. Number 5. Spark her curiosity. Imagine this: a man who holds back, who doesn't immediately chase after every bit of attention, becomes a mystery that a woman is eager to unravel. It's in that pause, that deliberate space, where his allure grows stronger. By choosing to strategically distance himself, a man taps into something deeper. He stirs a woman's natural desire to feel desired, appreciated, and drawn in. This subtle action can spark a powerful shift, making her the one who begins to pursue. Studies have shown that women are often more intrigued by men who maintain an air of mystery, those who don't easily give themselves away. It's in this restraint that a man signals his value and self-worth without needing to declare it. He becomes someone who isn't desperate for validation, and that's exactly what pulls her in. Now, think of Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, who spent his life focused on duty and inner strength, without craving attention or approval. When a man steps back from constantly trying to win a woman's favor, he embodies the same principles. He shows that his life has purpose beyond her, and that sense of independence, his confidence in his own path, makes him captivating. Stoicism teaches us not to seek validation from others, but to rely on inner strength and self-reliance. When a man operates from this mindset, his presence becomes more commanding, his absence more profound, and the balance between the two creates a magnetic pull that few can resist. But it doesn't end there. By adding a layer of unpredictability to his behavior, he can breathe new life into a relationship that may have slipped into routine. A little mystery, those moments when she doesn't quite know what's coming next, can reignite a spark that seemed to dim over time. It's not about mind games. It's about creating space for anticipation to grow. When she's left wondering what his next move will be, she becomes more engaged, more curious, and ultimately more intrigued. Stoic philosophy, which emphasizes moderation and balance, also plays a role in maintaining this delicate dance. While creating intrigue is powerful, overdoing it can backfire. Ignoring her for too long can cause feelings of neglect or indifference. The key is striking the right balance. Show interest, but don't let it dominate your actions. Keep things unpredictable without completely disconnecting. In doing so, you not only hold her interest, but you also preserve your own sense of identity and independence, cornerstones of the Stoic mindset. Picture this: you're in a long-term relationship, and everything feels predictable. By occasionally stepping back and allowing for space, you can rekindle the excitement that initially drew you together. It's not about withdrawing affection, but about creating those brief moments of absence that make her appreciate your presence all the more when you're together. This sense of ebb and flow can breathe fresh air into a relationship, keeping it dynamic rather than stagnant. This approach mirrors the Stoic ideal of mastering one's emotions and actions. You're not reacting out of impulse, but thoughtfully choosing how to engage. And as a result, she will find herself pursuing you, not because of some game you're playing, but because you embody a way of living that is deeply attractive, one of self-control, purpose, and balance. It's not about manipulating her emotions. It's about living with purpose, finding fulfillment from within, and naturally exuding an aura of confidence and mystery that makes others want to be a part of your life. Number 6. Project confidence and inner strength. Confidence and self-assuredness are, without a doubt, two of the most magnetic traits a man can possess. But what sets apart the confidence taught by Stoicism is that it transcends mere appearances. It is not about bravado or arrogance. It is about cultivating inner resilience, an unshakable belief in your own worth, regardless of the validation or lack thereof by others. A man who embraces Stoic principles understands that true value comes from within, not from seeking approval or chasing after fleeting desires. Consider the story of John, a man who has fully embraced Stoic wisdom. John walks through life with a clear sense of purpose, guided not by the opinions of others, but by his own moral compass and the virtues he strives to embody. When he meets a woman, John doesn't fall into the common trap of vying for her attention or approval. He remains grounded, aware that his worth is not contingent on her reactions or interest. This quiet self-assurance sends a powerful message. John is a man who knows his value and won't compromise it for anyone. Through this mindset, John exhibits one of Stoicism's core teachings: Emotional control. He doesn't allow himself to be swayed by fleeting emotions or impulsive desires. Instead, he approaches relationships with thoughtfulness, ensuring they are built on mutual respect and shared values. Rather than chasing after a woman's affection, he remains patient, choosing to distance himself from anyone who doesn't recognize his worth. In doing so, John not only preserves his dignity, but also creates an aura of mystery and depth that many women find irresistibly attractive. It is this calm detachment, this ability to stay centered despite external pressures, that sets men like John apart. His unwavering confidence is rooted in his refusal to settle for less than he deserves, and it's this very quality that makes him stand out. Women are drawn to men who possess this kind of self-assuredness because it signals strength, stability, and emotional intelligence, qualities that inspire both respect and admiration. In the face of challenges or limitations, John's discipline and firm boundaries only enhance his allure. He doesn't seek approval or validation from the outside world. Instead, he focuses on nurturing his own virtues, knowing that his true power lies in his ability to control his reactions and remain composed under pressure. This is what Stoicism teaches. Genuine confidence is not a performance, but an inner strength that radiates naturally when a man knows who he is and refuses to compromise his values. By embodying these Stoic ideals, you too can cultivate this magnetic confidence. It's not about pretending to be something you're not. It's about letting go of the need for external validation and trusting in your own self-worth. When you prioritize your inner virtues, when you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, women will be naturally drawn to you. But more importantly, you'll find that you've gained something far more valuable, a sense of fulfillment, peace, and strength that cannot be shaken by anyone or anything. So as you navigate through life and relationships, let your confidence and self-assuredness shine. Release the need for others' approval and direct your energy toward your own growth. In doing so, not only will you attract the attention and admiration of others, but you'll also discover a profound sense of inner peace that will serve you for a lifetime. Number 7. You're not looking for approval. Picture walking into a room full of people, yet you feel completely in control of your emotions and actions. You're not swayed by how others see you, nor are you fishing for approval. Instead, you move through life with quiet confidence. This is the essence of Stoicism, focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you can't. And when it comes to relationships with women, this mindset is a game changer. Women are naturally drawn to men who don't need their constant approval because it signals emotional resilience and inner strength. One of the most magnetic qualities you can exhibit is being self-reliant, demonstrating that your happiness and sense of self-worth don't hinge on someone else's validation. The moment you stop looking for her approval, you shift the dynamic. You're no longer playing the role of someone chasing attention. Instead, you become someone who commands respect. And in doing so, you embody the very principles of Stoicism. Here are some Stoic-inspired actions you can take to maintain this air of self-discipline and composure around women. Don't linger after conversations. Whether you've just had a light-hearted exchange or a deep conversation with a woman, the key is knowing when to exit. Once the conversation wraps up, say your goodbyes and walk away. Don't stand around, hoping for another chance to keep the conversation going. This isn't about being aloof. It's about showing that you value your time and that you're not hanging on her every word. A Stoic man knows his worth and doesn't need to linger in search of validation. Keep texting in check. In the modern age, texting can quickly become a crutch for constant communication. But overdoing it, especially with someone you're still getting to know, can come off as needy. Instead of bombarding her with messages, take a more measured approach. Send texts with intention, not out of a need for reassurance. This restraint mirrors the Stoic values of patience and self-control. By not constantly seeking her attention, you show that your value doesn't depend on how much you're texting her throughout the day. Respect her boundaries. Physical affection is important, but it should never feel forced or one-sided. When getting to know a woman, it's crucial to respect her physical space. Make small gestures like a touch on the arm or holding hands, but don't push for more if she's not comfortable. By allowing her to set the pace, you show that you respect her boundaries, and, in turn, you demonstrate mastery over your desires. Stoicism teaches that control over oneself is far more powerful than controlling others. At its core, Stoicism is about mastering your own actions and emotions. By applying these principles in your interactions with women, you show that you're not driven by a need for validation, but instead live by your own values. Women are naturally drawn to this kind of stability because it reflects confidence and emotional strength. And in the long run, this approach not only makes you more appealing, but also helps build healthier, more balanced relationships that aren't based on insecurity or a constant need for approval. Number 8. Revitalize the relationship with new excitement. Imagine this. One day, you're deeply engaged with her, sharing meaningful moments, offering genuine compliments, and showing your full attention. The next day, you seem distant, focusing on your own projects, less available, leaving her to wonder what changed. This shift in behavior creates a ripple effect in her mind, sparking curiosity and a desire to understand where she truly stands with you. It's as if you're slowly revealing pieces of a puzzle, making her work to see the whole picture. This isn't a game, but a psychological principle called intermittent reinforcement. When rewards or attention are given at unpredictable times, they become far more powerful in shaping behavior. It keeps the mind intrigued, always wondering when the next moment of affection or attention will arrive. The same dynamic can turn a routine relationship into something more engaging and unpredictable. Now, here's where Stoicism adds depth to this approach. The Stoics taught that true strength comes from mastering yourself, not others. When you stop seeking validation from a woman and instead remain focused on your own goals, you naturally shift the power dynamic. You become less predictable, and unpredictability is intriguing. You're not withholding affection out of manipulation, but as a reflection of your inner control. Think about it. When you're spending time with her, you give your all. But when you're focusing on your own path, you withdraw a little, creating a balance. It's this balance that makes her want to seek your attention more. She begins to wonder why you're not as available, and this uncertainty draws her in. By not being easily swayed by her reactions, you're showing that your life is centered on more than just her approval. For example, you might share an intimate moment one day, and the next, dive into your work or hobbies, leaving her to ponder your priorities. Or perhaps you offer a compliment today and tomorrow. Keep the conversation light, without the need for praise. This subtle push and pull keeps her curious, making her more invested in gaining your approval. Stoicism reminds us that emotional independence is key to personal freedom. By staying composed and not letting her reactions dictate your actions, you're embodying resilience. This emotional balance doesn't just make you stronger, it makes you more appealing. Women are naturally drawn to men who are grounded, confident, and not easily swayed by external circumstances. In other words, by practicing self-control and emotional independence, you're creating an irresistible dynamic where she's eager to understand you more deeply. In conclusion, combining Stoic wisdom with intermittent reinforcement can turn a simple relationship into something exciting and unpredictable. By focusing on your own growth, inner strength, and emotional independence, you naturally become more intriguing, making her chase your attention rather than the other way around. Number 9. Strengthen your emotional resilience. In relationships, especially with women, emotional resilience is a rare and valuable quality. It is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, where strength lies not in controlling others, but in mastering oneself. Picture this. A woman tests your patience, seeking reassurance or validation, hoping to stir a reaction. The way you respond in that moment reveals the depth of your emotional resilience. Do you let her actions dictate your mood, or do you remain centered, calm, and unshaken? Stoicism teaches us to detach from external influences and focus on what we can control, our inner world. When you embody emotional resilience, you demonstrate that your worth is not dependent on anyone else's approval. You show that external circumstances, including a woman's opinions or actions, have little power over your sense of self. This kind of inner fortitude creates an aura of mystery and strength, making you stand out. Imagine a scenario where she plays hard to get or sends mixed signals, leaving you wondering about her intentions. Instead of rushing to respond or seek clarity, you pause. You evaluate your principles and remain steady in your actions. This deliberate control over your emotions signals that you are not a man easily moved by fleeting moments of attention. You are guided by your own values, not by the ups and downs of someone else's behavior. Another example. A woman may try to provoke you with comments that test your confidence. Rather than reacting defensively, you choose selective disengagement, a practice rooted in emotional mastery. By not giving in to her provocations, you display your emotional resilience. You show that her validation, or lack thereof, has no power to sway your sense of self-worth. This kind of control reveals a man who is grounded, calm, and self-assured. Women are instinctively drawn to men who exhibit this kind of emotional fortitude. It signals that you are reliable, stable, and capable of handling challenges with grace. When you stop chasing external approval and start cultivating inner strength, something powerful happens. Women begin to chase you. You become the man who stands firm amidst uncertainty, who doesn't crumble under pressure, and who exudes confidence without seeking recognition. But let's be clear, emotional resilience doesn't mean you're detached or cold. It's not about being aloof or indifferent. Rather, it's about maintaining your center in a world that often tries to throw you off balance. It's about showing that no matter what happens around you, your emotional core remains intact. This type of strength is attractive on a deeper level, not because it's flashy, but because it's rare and deeply rooted in self-control. When you live by Stoic principles, you don't just appear confident, you become confident. Your steadiness in the face of challenges creates an environment where meaningful, genuine connections can thrive. Women will be drawn to you because they sense that you are a man who knows himself, who doesn't need to prove his worth through others' eyes, and who offers something far more substantial than fleeting charm. In the end, emotional resilience is more than a tool for attracting women. It's a way of life that enhances your well-being and leads to deeper, more fulfilling relationships. By mastering your emotions, you create a magnetic presence that naturally draws people toward you. And in the process, you not only become more appealing, but you also build the foundation for a life lived on your terms, with peace, purpose, and power. We've explored the fascinating interplay between Stoic wisdom and modern relationship dynamics, specifically how stepping back rather than leaning in can transform your love life. Stoicism teaches us the value of emotional independence and the allure of self-sufficiency, proving that sometimes less really is more. By focusing on your personal growth and letting go of the chase, you attract not just love, but respect and genuine connection. Remember, the journey to better relationships isn't about playing games or manipulating emotions. It's about cultivating a genuine sense of self-worth and peace within yourself. This approach not only makes you more attractive, but also enriches your life with deeper, more meaningful interactions. So take these lessons to heart, apply them in your life, and watch as the world around you begins to change. If you found these insights helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment below sharing your experiences or questions. Your engagement helps us grow and continue providing valuable content. Don't forget to subscribe for more updates, and make sure to watch the recommended videos popping up on your screen right now to deepen your understanding and continue your journey toward self-improvement. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep embracing the wisdom of Stoicism in every step of your life.